Hello.
Hi, everybody.
What's up? How
How's
are
everyone
you?
doing? Answer the goddamn question.
God. How many times can we start an episode with the same joke before it stops being funny? The answer is the limit does not exist.
Exactly. I mean, like, we're still laughing about it. And
Oh my
ow.
god.
I forgot
Did
I
you just
moved
hit
my
yourself?
No, I hit the trash can that I moved from across the room while I was trimming my nails earlier. And
Ah.
I forgot that I put it directly where when I put one leg over the other, it would swing,
Oh.
my foot swing and hit it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I end up, because I have an L-shaped desk.
Me
And
too.
so there's a diagonal bar across the corner piece that goes under the desk. And I constantly smash my knee on it and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. So mine has legs in those two spots. So my L shape, it literally has legs in the corner, so I can't even spin through that corner. I have
Mine
to
doesn't.
scoot out and then scoot back in on the other side. I don't like it.
See, the diagonal pieces that go from almost the front of the desk diagonally to the it doesn't have legs out that stick out towards where my feet are. It's just across from the top of the the front of the desk on the top to the bar across the very back on the bottom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if I'm pushed in too far on my desk and I go to just swing around to the other side, it just it hits my knee in the worst possible spot too, right on the kneecap.
Ow.
Where it's kind of halfway between painful and funny almost, like when you hit your funny bone.
Yeah.
But your knee funny bone. Do knees have funny bones?
I mean, all bones are a little
the funny
funny.
bone is yeah, but
the humerus.
Right.
In your arm.
Is that why it's called a funny bone? I've always been curious.
Yeah, because it's called the humerus.
Yeah.
And it's literally humor. It's humorous.
It's weird,
so they call it the funny
how
bone.
hard it is to hit your funny bone on purpose.
I know. It's yeah. I mean, hit
impossible.
yourself at all on purpose, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like you can hit yourself on purpose pretty decently.
Not really.
Depends on how. Well, you never know. Depends
That's
on
true.
how much your brain likes you at the time.
Honestly, yeah, true. Facts.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a thing you could bite off your finger as easily as a
baby carrot. Yeah.
But your brain won't let you.
Exactly. Self-preservation is a bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Exactly. What if I want to eat my finger?
Yeah. What if I want to be cannibal?
God.
I want to be a cannibal, and I'm going to start with my own pinky.
Right? You know how many times that cannibalism has just randomly come up in conversation over the years? A lot.
A lot. Honestly, it's
I don't know why.
It's a pretty interesting topic of discussion, to be honest.
Well, and
cannibalism.
Do you know that
would you do it?
Do you know about the Wendigo?
Okay, I've heard the name, but I don't know what you're talking about, the discussion wise.
The Wendigo is it's a mythological cannibalistic monster.
Yeah.
It's Canadian.
What have you done? I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying that none of I feel like none of the really cool stuff comes mythological wise. None of it comes from Canada.
But wouldn't a Wendigo be eating only other Wendigos?
No. So,
because I thought cannibalism was the act of a human eating human flesh.
But see, the Wendigo was
human ones
originally.
Oh, yes. Okay, that makes more sense because you said monsters.
Drove him to cannibalism, and over the years, the myth has spiraled into it being more beast-like. Maybe that's what happens when you start eating people. I
mean, you do go insane usually, mad cow disease.
But Wendigos have in a lot of pictures, they're they've got these really creepy big ass horns and antlers almost.
Oh, they probably took it from a deer that they hunted after going crazy and thinking they were a feral animal.
But yeah, I just think that's cool that they are originated
Canadian?
Here. Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
Right?
Interesting. A little factoid for you guys today. How you doing after that question and discussion? Anyways, like we do as well, we're going to start off with a couple of get to know you questions. We do like to just have you guys get to know us a little bit more, and it's a good icebreaker. So today's questions: what was the last thing that you read?
I haven't actually finished it yet, but it's this book. It's called Light Lark. I have it
Ooh.
right here next to me, actually. So basically, I'll give you just a brief rundown of it. So every 100 years, the island of Light Lark appears for 100 days, and it hosts a deadly game where the rulers of six realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. So like each ruler has like a different curse on them from like forever ago. And yeah, it's interesting. I have to finish it. My friends and I, we were doing it for book club, and then I was running said month for the book club, and I got really behind because I got really busy and I never finished it, but that's okay. Fair. And then I already bought the second book, even though I haven't finished the first one. The second one is Nightbane. I'm very excited to finish them once I have time.
Honestly, those sound really cool. Would you send me those titles? Because I will forget. But those sound really interesting.
Right?
The last thing that I read was actually right before we got on here. I like to read a couple chapters of this comic called I've Become a True Villainess. And it's like an isekai comic where it's not really an isekai because she dies and is like reincarnated. I think isekais are usually you're taken from your world, but it's got isekai themes in it. Where like, so she dies in her world and then wakes up in the body of the villainess in this story that she had been reading. And it's at like the beginning, so she knows what's going to happen, and she's just trying to change the fate of the villainess and dying at the hands of like the second male lead. And then like through the course of like what happens, and like the main female character is an isekai type situation where she gets pulled from her world into this one, and so she's seen as like a saint, and then she goes back and forth a couple of times, but like it goes through that, and right now she's like in the midst of falling in love, and I'm like, it's so cute.
Nice.
I love it.
Normally Serafina likes to read smut.
I do read a lot of smut, yeah. I do. I'll be honest, I read a shit ton of smut.
That's fair. No judgment.
I mean, but like, so one, I get a lot of ads for it. Mostly because like I don't have a filter.
You read them.
No, I get a lot of ads for it. Like I started getting ads because I talk about like that kind of
smut.
I talk about smut. I talk about sex. I talk about whatever. Like with my friends, that's what we talk about. So then I start getting ads for smut, and then I start reading more of it. And then the more I read it, the more ads I get. The more ads I get, the more I read it. And like, it is a vicious cycle, and I am deep in it right now. But it's fine. It's not a problem. Like most of the ones I read are free, so it's fine. And then this
like that one that...
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about that one. The only one that I've actually spent that kind of money on, and it was fucking free online. Link found it in 2 minutes, and I spent so much fucking money on it.
That's okay. Now you can finish it for free.
Exactly. I can finish it for free. Exactly. And I find so many of them out there that are free, so like to pay that much for one of them is fine because I do get a lot of them most likely illegally free. Yeah. Anyways.
I like to read a lot of like YA fantasy novels.
Yeah.
I was big into the like Hunger Games, Divergent era.
Oh, 100%. Same. Mine's not so much romance-ish, but it's definitely YA where it's like that like kind of late teen kind of story. So
well, that's what YA means, is young adult.
No, I know. But like I mean I read a lot of smut and like romance stuff.
Yeah.
But some of my favorites are definitely
there's this book that I really enjoyed. I should reread it. It was called Graceling.
Oh yeah.
It was really cool. From what I remember, I read it a long time ago. From what I remember, basically, there's like during like this kingdom or whatever, like certain people have like special powers, and each one of those people has heterochromia. They have two different colored eyes.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
And that was the reason I started reading it, honestly, because I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm going to read this book. I love
Right.
heterochromia. I wish
You
I
do.
had heterochromia.
You do.
Like my VTuber does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to reread it. I should go and pick up a copy.
That's fair. Do it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else on that one. You ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite restaurant for dates?
Oh my god. I haven't been on a date in so long. Something with decent food. I mean, I'm never gonna say no to like. I love Olive Garden. Honestly, it's so much. I love it.
Me too.
Although at the same time, the last time that I was at Olive Garden on a date was the night that my ex and I broke up.
Yeah.
But at least he bought me Olive Garden first.
Right. Exactly. There is that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like ones that are not going to be too loud or too busy.
Mm-hmm.
With decent food.
Yeah.
Not crazy expensive, because you don't want to, like, I, as a gentleman, try and always pay on the first date.
Right.
So I don't need to break the bank on a first date necessarily. I don't mind. Like, I'll do it. But like, if there's a good restaurant that's like also affordable that we can like maybe go back to all the time or whatever, that'd be great. But
totally.
Specifics, nah, I don't really have a go-to date restaurant. Especially because I have only been on like 2 dates since I moved out here. So yeah.
That's fair. I would say for me, probably either my favorite pho place, because we all know your girl loves pho, or Cheddar's. The place that I went with Puke Boy. Puke Boy, thankfully, did not ruin Cheddar's for me.
Wait, have you told that story on the podcast yet?
I don't know if I have. I don't want to tell it again today.
That's okay. Next, something to look forward to.
Yeah, next time we can do date horror stories and do personal ones and then ones on Reddit or something. And I can bestow upon our podcast listeners the story and tale of Puke Boy. I will write out the notes too, so I really make sure that timeline-wise we're like perfect.
I just can't even.
I'm sorry, but how do you puke on the table 3 times and then still have like the audacity to be a dickhead?
Oh my god.
And not tip? Yep, that's what we're going to be talking about, you guys. Tune in next time. It's I was going to say it's a juicy story, but that makes me want to throw up a little.
Oh my god.
Anyways. Puke Boy didn't ruin Cheddar's for me, so Cheddar's or my favorite pho place. So
nice. Okay, well, look forward to that, you guys. In the meantime, we're gonna go back to what we started talking about last episode, and we're gonna do a little bit more on malicious compliance, just because it's so much fun.
It is.
Do you want to go first?
Sure, I don't mind. Okay, so my first story I have, let me make sure this is in a good spot. All right, so this one is titled, Guy Who Flips Out Over His Internet Speed Gets Less. So a little backstory, I work for an internet provider company as a lead in the internet repair department. This means that I get calls from agents who work there that either need help with a situation because they are stuck and don't know what to do, or when a customer escalates the call asking for a supervisor, manager, or someone above them. My department mainly handles internet issues like being offline, outages, or replacing equipment, etc. So the other day was like any other. I'm getting calls from agents needing equipment transferred from one account to another, scheduling a technician for customers who refuse to do any troubleshooting. The list goes on and on. One of my main calls is an agent asking for me to run a special tool that corrects the speed being sent to a customer. This usually happens when a customer upgrades or downgrades their internet speed, and it doesn't take right away. And this only takes a couple of minutes. This comes in later. On this particular day, I get a call from an agent that says her customer wants to speak to a supervisor. Oh, because he is not getting the speeds he pays for. This happens quite a lot, usually because most people don't understand how the internet works and all the factors that come into the results of a speed test. This can include a lot of things, like how far away you are from your router, if you're testing on Wi-Fi or directly connected, how many devices you are currently using, and even things like how your residence is built, because stone and concrete do not allow Wi-Fi signals to travel through. When I looked at the customer's account, I see that he is currently subscribed to 100 megabytes per second. Megabits per second. Oh, he put it in parentheses for me as well. Um, our normal plans are 300, 500, and a gig, which is 1,000. I asked the agent what results he was getting, and she told me it was 437 megabits per second, which is way over what he is paying for. I told the agent to go ahead and transfer him to me, and I'll continue the discussion. Once the customer gets to me, we'll call him Darren. I introduce myself and ask how I can help. Darren immediately begins yelling and cursing at me about how he is not getting what he pays for and is extremely upset and even demanding credit to his account because of this. I begin to try and apologize to Darren and explain that the speed test results can vary based on certain conditions. He cuts me off and states that he is recording the call and will be posting everything I say on social media. I tell him that this is fine, as all of our calls are recorded for quality assurance purposes as well, and everything will be documented. Darren then proceeds to continue cursing, stating that this is unacceptable, and I should be ashamed of myself for working for a company that does not provide the product people are paying for. While he rants on and on, I notice that he has recently changed his internet plan from 500 megabits to 100 megabits 2 days ago. What an idiot.
Oh
Anyway,
my
sorry.
god. And he's probably still getting the 500, but he thinks that he's getting like a gig. And
Yeah,
so,
no.
yeah,
Because
I can see where this is going.
Yep, because he was getting on his speed test 437. And I wonder if he thought he was still at the 500 and was like, I'm getting 63 less, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is going to be good. Now, as I mentioned before, sometimes the internet changes don't happen right away, and we have to run a specific tool to fix it. This can happen when the modem has not been reset to reflect these changes. I tried to tell Darren that he is receiving more than what he is paying for, and again, he cuts me off, stating that he will be reporting us to the FCC, BBB, and filing a lawsuit about this, all while recording our conversation. Now, normally I wouldn't care, and I'd allow the speed to continue going through until the system automatically fixes it. But his attitude and rude demeanor made me feel otherwise. Cue the malicious compliance. I love this so much. I respond to Darren saying, Sir, you are absolutely right. And I'm so sorry you are not receiving the speeds you are paying for. I will get this fixed right away. Now, this plan that Darren was on, the 100 speed, is a plan that only certain customers can get if they are financially unable to make normal payments, meaning he had to apply for this program and be approved based on his low income. So I run the fix tool on his internet and reduce the speed down to 100 as he requested. I then ask him how his speed results are now. Darren then responds, It's even worse than it was before. What kind of trick are you trying to pull on me? I responded, Sir, you told me that you were not getting the speeds you were paying for, and you were right. You recently applied for financial assistance to be downgraded to 100, and I fixed that for you. It was absolutely wrong of us to be sending you 500 when you were only paying for 100. I apologize for the convenience. After a few minutes of silence, Darren then muffled to himself, This is ridiculous, and proceeded to
I apologize
disconnect
for
the
the
call.
convenience is insane.
I know. Oh my god. and then proceeded to disconnect the call. I left notes on his account so any future agent would know that what happened that day and that he was not entitled to any credit on his bill. All I can say is be careful what you complain about.
My God.
Oh my God. That's literally so funny. I had like something kind of similar happen with my internet where like they kind of sold me on the higher megabits per second. And then when I called to like get a lower plan because they wanted to charge me like $90 for it, I was like, can we do like less? Like, what can we work something out here? And like the guy on the phone was like, honestly, you don't even need what you're getting because it's just you. Even if you have all of your devices connected at the same time, you don't need that much. Like, you would be perfectly fine on half as much. And I'm like, well, fuck. I've been overpaying for a year. Let's do it. And it's totally fine. Like, I don't have any problems. So, like, it's nice when you have someone who's, like, willing to go beyond for you. But then, like, in that situation where it's, like, you're just screwing yourself.
My God.
Like, honestly. Oh, that's genuinely funny, though. But, yeah, that's my story. I love it. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Good job, Darren.
Oh, there's a really, like, there's a really hilarious comment that I could make, but no.
I would like to hear it.
Hold on. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay. That's hilarious.
Right? Okay. All right. I found this other one. We are not allowed to ship product using anything other than a certain company. Okay, sure. I work in the apparel industry, and one of our customers is a company who frequently finds itself on lists of top 10 in America. From our location, one of their gigantic distribution centers is only about 90 minutes away. Once, when we did a very small order for them, results only about 10% of our MOQ. What is MOQ?
Let me see.
I don't know. But anyways, we thought instead of shipping it through FedEx, why not just drop it off at their distribution center? Since the shipping address was to their distribution center. Oh my God, I don't know why I struggle with that word. It would get there faster than by FedEx and cheaper too. When our driver went there, the distribution center refused to take delivery. No problem. We called the person in charge on their side with our company and we laid out the problem. While the person was extremely rude and simply said, we do not intend to accept deliveries made other than the contractual method of using FedEx, and shot off multiple emails to our VP, president, and our holding company's CEO about not following contractually required methods. So our driver comes back. We ship the product using FedEx. 3 weeks ago, a frantic call and a decently large order, but extremely urgent order. Wait, that sentence doesn't make any sense. Okay, I don't really know. I'm sorry, that sentence does not make sense to me. Because it just stops there, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. We have our time estimates to complete the work, and the shipping date we would be able to manage, agreed upon in email. We shipped it through FedEx, even though it was said to use any means necessary to try to get it to them by the shipping date. In raging phone calls and screaming duels, our holding company CEO went over the vendor manager's head and to their purchasing and inventory VP, complained about the manager's behavior and their previous email about only using FedEx as contractually stated in our adherence to the shipping date as we packed the trailer and locked it with a seal and date on it. The FedEx semi came at 1 a.m. to pick up the trailer. Not our fault. We followed the contractually stated rules. Guess who just lost 9 major universities in college football from their vendor management portfolio?
That's actually crazy.
I mean, why are people like... I can understand trying to follow company policy to an extent, but at the same time, if you're getting if it's a better situation and you're getting things cheaper and faster, and you're so dead set on following nothing but the current policies to the point where you're being that rude about it,
Right.
and then losing such a huge, like such a huge company.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, college football, especially in the States, is major.
It
Like,
is. It really is,
freaking
actually.
my stores that I work for, we carry freaking American like college and university sweaters,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and like for teams and stuff. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
Right? Yeah, that's why you gotta pick your battles, my dudes.
Exactly. I'm like, this isn't something to be like this fucking petty over.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, my next story that I've got is called Well, That's the Seasoning You Asked For. Um, this story isn't quite as malicious as certain other submissions, but it shows what a pedantic, Jesus, I'm really struggling with this. Pedantic, easily annoyed little shit I could be as a kid, so I thought it might fit. My dad and I love to cook, so we tend to have a good variety of ingredients, especially herbs and spices. When I was in, I want to say, middle school, we discovered garlic powder. Wow. Um, and we used it on almost everything that it could or that it could possibly taste good on. To my annoyance, my mom insisted on calling it garlic salt, even after I explained several times that it's a different seasoning. Finally, I had my dad pick up a shaker of actual garlic salt and waited. Eventually, my mom asked me to bring her the salt, pepper, and garlic salt for whatever she was eating, so I did just that. When she inevitably asked why her food was so salty, I explained to her that I brought her exactly what she asked for: salt, pepper, and garlic salt. She never called it garlic salt again, and I felt so satisfied with my smartassery. Love that.
We love good smartassery.
We do, we do.
Yeah, that one wasn't as malicious as other ones.
No, but it's definitely like following compliance to a T with it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's not even about like a job. Like my
Yeah.
parents, I would do things like that just to spite them sometimes.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
follow exactly to the letter what they said,
Mm-hmm.
even though I knew that it was not the way that they intended me to do it. I don't care.
Exactly.
Had to be done.
Precisely.
Yeah. Right? Um, this one is interesting.
Yeah.
It says $140. That's expensive for an oil change. Take it out and put the old oil back.
Oh
All right,
no.
bet.
Oh,
140
it's so
seems
good.
steep, but keep in mind this was a 22-year-old Chevy SUV. Not only did it need an oil change, but it's already suffering from bad piston slap, which we documented. It got dropped off for an overnight oil change, and the first thing in the morning, the customer showed up for his truck. When we heard the price, when he heard the price, he got upset and said he wasn't paying that, and to put the old oil back, he doesn't care how. After explaining it wasn't possible. This is my favorite sentence in the whole thing. He gave off huge cunty vibes, and judging from the, it legit says that. I'm not making that
I
up.
fucking love that.
And judging from the condition of his truck, he's always been a prick. When he left, I had a talk with the other tech, and he was confused about how we're putting the old oil back when it was so bad it looked like burnt oil. I told him we're going to pump the top of the waste oil enough to fill his truck. All the waste oil is mixed synthetic axle, and standard oil is mixed. In the it was waste, and generally not a good idea to reuse it. But he insisted when he said he didn't care how. We put his
Facts.
old filter back and put desert heat aged old oil back in it. And as an added measure, one of the techs he pissed off put axle grease on the top of his catalytics. It doesn't damage anything or smoke. It just smells horrible when it's heated. We put his truck down and put it outside, gave the keys to the owner of the shop. When he came to get his truck, the owner was outside waiting and told him not to come back again. The boss is still worried we might be on the hook for his engine if it blows, and we showed him all the paperwork and documented piston slapping. We figured his truck might last another year at best if he changed the oil by now.
Oh my god.
I am screaming.
That's fucking hilarious.
And
I'm
then there's
sorry,
an
but if you're gonna
yeah,
like act like a dick, like you get dick
right.
prizes.
And there's an edit for people that were wondering about like why it was 140.
Yeah.
Um, so it was 12 quarts of the oil, which was $70 ish. Oil stabilizer $10, filter 12, oil plug 12, plus labor and fees. So
Yeah.
that kind of tracks. My oil change is like 110.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have a sedan, so like mine's usually about 70 to 80.
Yeah.
I do fully synthetic though, but like I don't need nearly
Right,
that
I do
many
too. And
quarts
like
of
I have
oil.
right, I have a smaller SUV and not anywhere near what like a big Chevy SUV would be.
Yeah,
Plus,
exactly.
yeah. So,
Dude's a dumbass.
dude is a dumbass, honestly.
It's painful. But you know, that's what the yeah,
Right?
you give off cunty vibes.
I fucking can't with that.
That's
As soon as I
so
read it, it's
funny.
like, okay, I don't care about the rest of the story. I have to read this one because of that sentence.
Literally. Love that.
Because the word cunty was capitalized.
I adore
So it
that.
like jumped out from this page for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
My next one that I have is I'm not allowed to go outside of our travel agency to save money, so I didn't. I have quite a flair for finding cheap travel and accommodation. My travels on a strict budgets. Oh, my travels on a strict budget have taken me to 3 continents so far, so I'd say I've picked up a few tricks. Nowadays, I get the pleasure of doing short trips with my work when attending conferences and seminars. As I prefer not to waste money, I've arranged the trips privately and then requested it paid back afterwards. It worked out well for a few of us, budget wise. Then we got new directions for handling travel costs. We all had to go through a new travel agency whenever booking, well, anything. The top brass held a talk about it and everything. We were warned that onwards, any application for money back after a trip booked privately may be outright denied. I had tried to use the travel agency before, but found that it only allowed a few overpriced airlines and hotels, and it wouldn't let you book anything outside of their approved connections. Cue malicious compliance. Where I previously combined train and bus tickets to reduce cost, I now just submitted the top option. Oh, 5 times more expensive? Too bad. A nice low range motel or hotel that covered my needs? No longer available. Choose suggested option. I guess I will stay at the Hilton then. I just got back from a trip that cost 5 times what I could have paid for if I'd been able to do my thing. No flights were available the day I could have left, so I went a day earlier. No afternoon flight was available after my meeting, so I stayed an extra night. I was basically off work half a week extra because of the travel agency, and the trip ended up costing more than my monthly paycheck. That's crazy. Oh,
I mean, yeah.
no, that's
That is kind of
literally
crazy.
insane. Oh, and the travel agency, they were apparently the lowest bidder on the contract, claiming they'd supply the cheapest travel options. I enjoyed the complimentary champagne.
Right. Oh my god. That's a good
Complimentary
one.
champagne?
Right.
That's
Living it up.
crazy.
I wish.
Oh my god.
I would absolutely do the same thing.
Oh, same.
If I wasn't paying for it and they are
Yeah,
refusing to let me have them pay for cheaper options, no, fuck them. I'm gonna fucking go all out. Yeah.
exactly. And I'm like, I know it's probably to mitigate the people who are like getting the overly expensive stuff. That's a thing. But if you have someone who's like got this down to a science and is like
Right.
showing that they're paying less than everything else, and then you have one comes in that's more than their monthly income, I would be genuinely alarmed.
Right.
That's crazy. But whatever. That's why I don't
I
have a
wish I had a
business,
job
I
that would
guess.
pay me to travel. That'd be great.
Right? That'd be amazing.
Okay, this one's kind of short, but it's kind of funny. Whatever you do, don't speak French.
Okay.
This happened in school when I was around 15. It was in a French-speaking region, and my English class had a very strict but somewhat sassy teacher, Miss Jones. The one golden rule was no French. You had to speak English no matter what, except emergencies, of course. Miss Jones wasn't messing around, but she had a sense of humor. For example, one day during recess, someone wrote on the board, "Miss Jones is a beach." When she saw it, she started screaming, "What is wrong with you? I'm not a beach, I'm a bitch." And then she spelled it correctly and wrote it on the board. She added, "Besides, it's not a bad thing. It stands for babe in total control of herself."
Oh my god.
That's pretty clever. I do like that.
That is.
One day in class, Miss Jones mentioned war, and a student didn't know what that word meant. So Miss Jones starts explaining it in English. The student doesn't get it. Other students pitch in, still in English, to no results. This goes on for some time. I get fed up and say, "This is a waste of time. Can we just translate the word in French and move on?" Miss Jones answers, "Well, if you're so smart, then why don't you explain what it means? And no French." All right, I start making pow pow noises, explosions, imitating warplanes, the whole deal. It takes 3 seconds for the student to yell, "I get it."
That's genuinely hilarious.
Right?
Oh my god. I mean, technically, not English.
Right. Oh my god. That is hilarious.
That is pretty hilarious. Oh my god. I mean, like, that's a special circumstance of, like, if we're all spending, like, 30, 40 minutes trying to explain it, just let it be fine in French.
Right, exactly.
But whatever. I think that's so funny.
Yeah. Also, I this has nothing to do with malicious compliance.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about stuff we could do for future episodes that I think our lovely people would enjoy.
Yeah.
Because people seem to like when we did Jeopardy.
Yeah.
We should do Family Feud.
Ooh, that would be fun.
I love Family Feud.
That would be genuinely very fun.
All right, you guys. We're going to do Family Feud soon. Eventually.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. We'll find some cool guests to have for
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a good time.
Right?
My next malicious compliance. This one's called "Never Call You Again." Okay, done. About a dozen years ago, I don't know why, but I don't like that. I don't like that they put it like that. About 12 years ago, I was working in a banking call center. The company was informed of some governmental change that required us to have a tax ID number for everyone with our business credit accounts, and we had some ridiculously short time frame to be in compliance. There were tens of thousands of accounts with this ID missing. It hadn't been previously required. A big group of us were given lists of customers and told to call them and ask for the ID number. If they had it, we added it to the account, and all was well. If they didn't have it, we were to switch them to a consumer non-business card. If they didn't want that, we'd cancel on the spot. Due to the short time frame for compliance, the customer had to tell us on the call which they preferred. Another nifty caveat was that we were only making 2 calls and we're not leaving messages. We couldn't drag this out waiting for people to eventually call us back. If we got the person on the first call, we were done. If we still didn't get them on the second call, the account was auto-canceled. That's actually fucked up. That's crazy. This sounds like a horrible job to do, but it was actually going really well. 99% of the people I called were happy to comply or switch accounts. Then I called Karen.
Oh, no.
The phone rang, and I was about to hang up when I heard that pause and double ring that tells you that the call was forwarded, so I waited. Karen, what? I could hear background noise like she was out in public. Me, hi, this is Jane Doe with XXX Bank, and Karen, why the fuck are you calling my cell phone? Are you fucking stupid? I've told you people to never call this number. Me, I didn't. The call was Karen. OMG, now you're going to lie to me? Pay attention. Never call me again. I use your credit card for everything and pay it. So you have no reason to call me. Got it? Me, yes, but phone disconnects. Malicious compliance kicks off. Okay, so I spoke to you, maybe a dozen words. You didn't provide your tax ID, and I can't call you back because you said to never do that. Next button, Cancel. Notes? Customer did not provide the tax ID and demanded we never call her again. I really, really, really hope she was out shopping and had fun when her card was declined at the next store.
Right? Oh my god.
You know what's so fucked up about that situation is, like, if she had just been, like, really nice about it, she could have been like, hey, yeah, I don't have that. Like, can I call you back? Or will you guys be calling again so I can have it next time you call?
People are like, oh my god, people like that are crazy.
Yeah. And I think it's funny because hearing, like, the public noises, she probably was out and about. And if she uses that card for everything, I wonder if she doesn't have another one. So she was absolutely fucked. Which, honestly, like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly. Oh my god. Okay,
I liked
this
that
one
story a lot.
Specifically for the title, because I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
It's called The Mop.
The Mop?
That's it. Just The Mop. Okay. This is a story of ongoing malicious compliance.
Oh.
We have a one bathroom at home, and the bathroom has a bathtub and one of those shower handles. So my dad is a splasher when it comes to taking baths. I'm not sure why that's relevant. Oh, no, never mind. I know why it's relevant afterwards.
Oh.
Okay. If you go in the bathroom after him, it looks like a flood just went by. We are not in a position to question him, as he either yells and throws things or takes it out on my mom by giving her the silent treatment. Sorry, Ew. Mom, you married a prince, huh? I love that that's in there. So he confiscated a mop to wipe the floor after bathing. Here's the thing, actually. There's two things. One, he doesn't want anyone to touch, much less use that mop. No, he doesn't wash or dry the mop. It lives in the bathroom.
Ew.
Two, he takes at least 3 baths a day.
Ew.
Why, though?
Yeah, why?
Whatever. We end up buying a new mop. Once his mop has finally disintegrated, he will confiscate the new mop and we will buy a new mop for the house, on and on. My sister took his mop and washed it with bleach and took it out to dry in the sun. Dad did not speak to any of us and went to bed without supper.
What the fuck?
Cue malicious compliance. No one ever touched his mop ever again, and my siblings and I started hiding the new mop at our neighbors to keep it safe. He still doesn't know about it. But we all know what happens when a wet mop stays wet in a closed, moist environment. Mm-hmm. The mop has sat in the bathroom collecting God knows what, and he just used it to paint over the splashed water after he showers. Yesterday, he had visitors from church, so he demanded we clean the house. We cleaned everywhere but the bathroom because we're not allowed to touch the mop. 10 minutes before the guests showed up, he freaked out and asked why the bathroom still looked so disgusting. But Father, you said no one is to touch your mop, my youngest sister replied with the fakest of innocent looks. Funny thing is, Dad didn't even think to just take the smelly mop outside. He had to live through his guests using the bathroom with a moldy, smelly mop.
Are you fucking serious?
Oh my god.
Oh my good fucking god. That's actually crazy.
Okay, this first comment is kind of... So just as a confirmation, because you can never tell it from inside, this is not normal. This is not okay. And although you may have gotten somewhat used to it, you need to know that it isn't something you should have got used to. Most people don't have an emotional support rotting mop.
Oh my god.
God.
That's so funny. That's so fucking disgusting, though, too. But that's actually hilarious.
I can't. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my Lord. People are wild. Oh, my gosh. That's so funny.
There's another comment that says, somehow this is more bizarre than poop knife. At least that one brought the family together.
What?
And now I really need to know what this is, so I'm going to look it up real quick.
Okay,
and then
you look up poop knife because I need to know what that is, too.
Okay, hold on.
I wish I put a link in it.
Okay, let's see. Yeah,
poop
okay,
knife?
so I found it.
Poop knife.
Oh wait, original post found here but removed. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine. But it says this was what the text was, so I'm just gonna read it. My family poops big. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's our diet, but everyone births giant logs of crap.
Oh my god.
If anyone has laid a mega poop, you know that sometimes it won't flush. It lays across the hole in the bottom of the bowl, and the vortex of draining water merely gives it a spin as it mocks you. I'm loving the exposition of this story so far. Growing up, this was a common enough occurrence that our family had a poop knife. It was an old rusty kitchen knife that hung on a nail in the laundry room, only for it to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through the hallway and have someone call out, "Hey, can you get me the poop knife?" I thought it was standard. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife. Fast forward to 22. It's been a day or two between poops, and I'm over at my friend's house.
Oh, no.
My friend was the local dealer and always had, quote, guests over, because you can't buy weed without sitting on your ass and sampling it for an hour. I excuse myself and lay a gigantic turd. I look down and see that it's a sideways one, so I crack the door and call out for my friend. He arrives and I ask him for his poop knife. What? Your poop knife, I say. I need to use it. Please. Oh my god. What the fuck? Yeah. I'm not done, but I can't see with tears in my eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're only halfway done. Okay. What the fuck is a poop knife? Obviously, he has one, but maybe he calls it by a more delicate name. A fecal cleaver? I thought I pulled myself together enough to finish. Oh my god, no, I can't. Okay.
A fecal cleaver.
Wait, there's two more. Okay. A fecal cleaver, a dung divider, a guano glaive. Oh my god.
No fucking way.
Okay, I explained what it is I want and why I want it. He starts giggling and then laughing, and lots of people start laughing. It turns out the music stopped and everyone heard my pleas through the door.
Oh, no.
It also turns out that none of them had poop knives. It was just my fucked up family with their fucked up bowels. Fuck my life. I told this to my wife last night, who was amused and horrified at the same time. Turns out that she did not know what a poop knife was and had been using the old rusty knife hanging in the utility closet as a basic utility knife. Thankfully, she didn't. Thankfully, she didn't cook with it, but used it to open Amazon boxes. She will be getting her own utility knife now.
Oh my god.
Edit. Common question. Why was this not in the bathroom instead of the laundry room? Answer. We only had one poop knife and the laundry room was central to all three bathrooms. I have no idea why we didn't have three poop knives. All I know is that we didn't. We had the one, possibly because my father was notoriously cheap about the weirdest things. So yes, we shared our poop knife. I am screaming. I fucking cannot.
Could you imagine though if you had your own personal poop knife?
Jesus.
Could you imagine if you had your own personal poop knife and you're like, oh, hold on. I feel a big one stewing. Let me get my poop knife.
Why? Like,
can you
I understand the purpose of why, but like,
I literally need to share that with every person I know. That's so fucking funny.
Here you go.
A fecal cleaver.
I died at that point.
I knew
a fecal
that they were
cleaver,
gonna,
a dung divider, or a guano glaive.
A guano glaive. The fact that they actually said these things is so funny.
Oh.
But like, also, why are your shits so big? Okay, also, could you imagine though? Okay, so like both of their parents apparently have ginormous shits,
Right.
right? Could you imagine starting a life with somebody and y'all agree to have a fucking poop knife? And you're like, yeah,
No,
this
that
is
they.
good.
Well, like the parents did, but like
Right, the parents
OP's
did.
like the poster's wife had no idea what
No, I know.
he
And
was
like
talking
they think
about.
this is totally normal. No, but then I'm like, because like it's both weird because like the parents, and I like had a feeling something weird was going to happen. Because like the parents obviously know and agreed that like a poop knife was necessary for their fucking
I am
family.
just I can't.
And
I'm
so you
so glad I
have,
looked this up.
oh my God, me too. That's literally the greatest thing I've heard all fucking day. That's so funny. But yeah, then like you just have a poop knife with your spouse and you think it's normal. Oh my God, I can't believe she was using it as a utility knife.
I'm just glad she didn't try to cook with it.
Well, my thing is like usually when like if I have a knife or anything that gets used on like anything that's not food
Right,
related,
a
I
poop
always
knife.
wash it after a poop knife. Yeah.
Oh
Oh my
my
God,
god.
that's the funniest
I
fucking thing
fucking
like
can't.
I've ever
Right.
heard. Oh my
Oh
God,
Jesus.
my last one really can't top that, but that's I'm
This was
so
on
glad you
r
looked that
slash
up.
museum of Reddit, and now I need to go and read the rest of these
Yeah,
on this
Museum of
museum of
Reddit
Reddit.
might be the best place to go. Oh my God, that's actually fucking insane. Okay, I do have a malicious compliance. So,
Okay.
this one is named You Can Find a Better Place to Stay. By all means, go ahead. Oh my God, my throat hurts a little bit from laughing so hard. Oh my God. That was so funny. I'm literally going to have to call my dad and his girlfriend about that. That's so freaking hilarious.
Ask them if they have a poop knife,
Yeah, I
a
mean, they
fecal
don't.
cleaver.
They definitely fucking don't. Um, so we're getting a couple of storms, and it's been heavy rain and wind for the past week. It's bad enough that certain areas are evacuated. I live in a pretty good house that can stand that level of wind and rain. Where it's located, flooding is not a concern. So relatives, friends, and neighbors are welcome if they need a place to stay. In come Aunt K. Oh jeez, I can't spell. I can't speak. In comes Aunt K, 60s. My mom's
Oh, I thought you were
sister.
trying to speak pig Latin or something. I was like, what?
No. No, I'm just stupid. Um, my mom's sister and her three children, female 32, male 28, female 20, with their children. Aunt Kay is a hassle, and honestly, I'd rather not deal with her, but her place isn't in a good spot. So I let them stay at my place until the storm blows over. Aunt Kay has been nagging and complaining non-stop. All she does is lays around on her phone, complaining about everything she can think of. Her kids have told her to stop, which turns into her becoming a raging, screaming witch. So one day, while we're in the living room, Aunt Kay comes in and was talking to another aunt, Emma. I don't know why I changed from aunt to aunt. Anyways,
Just go with it.
Aunt Kay was complaining about my place, and Aunt Emma was trying to tell her off, but ain't no stopping that word vomiting hag. Damn. Oh my God. Aunt Kay then says she can find a better place. Mind you, it's been raining all day and the winds have gotten stronger. You go outside and you'll be pelted and maybe fly off if you aren't careful. As her oldest is telling her to stop, Aunt Kay just keeps on going and tells me my house sucks and whoever built it had shit for brains. That set me off as the house was designed by my parents and they out of their heart and or they put their heart and soul into it. So I told her to leave and find a better place then if she doesn't like my place. Aunt Kay looked offended and started telling Aunt Emma what I had just said. Aunt Emma told her off and then hung up. Aunt Kay looked at me and just tried to go back to her bed, but I told her she had to leave and find another place. She didn't want to apologize and told me I was being sensitive and needed to respect my elders. Ugh. I kind of hate when people say that, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, I told her she didn't respect me, and since she could find a better place, she ought to leave. I wasn't backing down, so she went and got her stuff, and when she saw her kids and grandkids weren't going with her, she was not happy. I gave her an umbrella and some cash. didn't need to do that. That was pretty fucking nice. That happened at around 9 a.m. She came back at around 2 p.m., drenched and defeated. She gave me a quiet apology and begged me to let her in. Turns out she went around to some of her friends' places and even her boyfriend's, but they were either gone or telling her off for fucking around in the storm. Now she just lazes and keeps quiet. I don't care if she still complains, but at least I don't have to hear it. Edit. This happened in the Philippines. She did return the umbrella, but not the cash. It was like $5, 250 pesos for fare. This is nothing new from her. She'll try to push boundaries to get her way, but if I'm near, I call her out on it. She's a big believer in respecting your elders, but what she did is seem as a massive fuck you. You don't insult hospitality. She's been getting verbal smackdowns from other relatives for what she did.
Nice.
Somebody called it soggy compliance. Or a baptism by nature.
Oh my
Love
god.
that.
I fucking can't.
Mm-hmm.
Baptism by nature.
I know, right?
Love when that happens.
Yep.
Okay, I found a funny one on this
I'm
Reddit
so
history
excited.
one that we want to read. Today I fucked up by enraging the parents of my girlfriend by pretending not to know what a potato is. Let me tell you that I have made a bad mistake this evening. My girlfriend, who let me tell you is only my second girlfriend of all time, said I am, quote, invited to dinner with her and her parents. I was very aghast, nervous, and bashful to be invited to such a situation, but I knew it must be done. I met them nicely, I should tell you, and it started off in a good way. The idea slapped my mind that I should do a comic bit to make a good impression and become known to them as a person who is amusing. When I saw that baked potatoes were served, I got the idea that it would be very good if I pretended I did not know what potatoes were. That would be funny. Well, let me tell you, it backfired in my face. I'll tell you how. So first, when the potato came on my plate, I acted very interesting. I showed an expression on my face so as to seem that I was confused, astounded, but in a restrained way, curious and interested. They did notice and seemed confused, but did not remark. So I asked, "This looks very interesting. What is this?" They stared at me, and the mother said, "It's a baked potato." And I was saying, "Oh, interesting. A baked, what is it again?" And she's like, "A potato." I was like, "A potato? Oh, interesting. I've never heard of a potato. It looks pretty good."
Oh my god.
And then they didn't see I was clowning, but thought I really did not know what a potato was. So I knew I would be very shamed, humiliated, depressed, and disgusted if I admitted to making a bad joke. So what I did was to act as if it was not a joke, but I committed to the act of pretending I didn't know what a potato is.
Oh god.
They asked me, very incredulous, did I really not know what a potato is? That I had never heard of a potato. I went with it and told them yes, I'd not even heard of a potato. Not only had I never eaten a potato, I had never heard the word potato. This went on for a bit, and my girlfriend was acting very confused and embarrassed by my fucked up antics. And then the more insistent I was about not knowing what a potato is was when the parents started thinking I did know what a potato was. Well, let me tell you, I had to commit 100% at this point, when I would not admit to knowing what a potato was. The father especially began to get annoyed. At one point, he said something like, "Enough is enough. You're fucking with us. Admit it." And I said, "Sir, before today I had never heard of a potato. I still don't know what a potato is, other than some kind of food. I don't know what to tell you." Well, let me tell you, he got very annoyed. I decided to take a bite of the potato. And when I did, I made a high-pitched noise and said, "Tastes very strange." That is when the father started yelling at me, and the mother kept saying, "What are you doing?" And my girlfriend went to another room. Finally, the father said I should get the fuck out of his house, and I said it was irrational to treat me like this just because I had never heard of potatoes before. Well, let me tell you, he didn't take that kindly. Now, in text messages, I've been telling my girlfriend I really don't know what a potato is. The only way I can ever get out of this is for them to buy that I don't know what a potato is. I wish I never started it, but I can't go back now. I think she'll break up with me anyways.
Okay, but why are boys so dumb?
God, I don't know. Oh my God.
Genuinely, if you just said, be like, "Sorry, it was a really poor joke," I know what potatoes are. And,
right?
like, I know that he says that they would have ridiculed him, but I'm like, they legitimately think that you're dumb, though.
Okay,
And, like,
this
potatoes are a staple
I know.
everywhere.
There's a comment though giving ideas as to how to fully commit to it. It says you
Oh,
need to commit
jeez.
100% to this now. Invent a religion, perhaps an obscure offshoot of Roman Catholicism formed after the Irish potato famine. That eschews potatoes in all of their forms. Create a Wikipedia page. Find a passage in the Bible that supports it. In brackets says literal interpretation of beasts of the field, perhaps. Maybe claim beast is a close to the old Irish word for potatoes. You're going to have to get creative. Reveal all of this to girlfriend's family as though you just found out yourself. Tell them you went home and asked your parents about it, and they sat you down and told you that they were part of this religion and had raised you in observance of its tenets. You can then roll your eyes and act like your parents are the weirdest, most embarrassing people on earth for putting you in this situation. Oh, and they told you French fries were made from bread because it was the one indulgence they allowed. Never let your parents and her parents meet unless they have been briefed and can be trusted to dive on any grenades.
Oh my god, that's actually hilarious.
And at the wedding, have a baked potato bar.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Right? Oh my
That's
god.
so funny. I actually really
That
love
is
that
hilarious.
comment.
You could just call them apples. The French word for potato is literally ground apple.
It
They're not
literally is,
wrong.
yeah.
I am just. Yeah.
Yeah.
Invite your girlfriend to meet your parents. Have your father take her aside and ask if potatoes were served at the dinner with her parents. When she says yes, he looks alarmed, mutters something about wanting to keep them away from him, and never mentions the subject again.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
That's so funny.
The amount of people in the comments, like, so committed to having this guy stay committed to not knowing what potatoes are is insane.
Yeah. No, that's Reddit for you.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I should do that. I'm gonna do this next time. Like when I start dating someone, I'm gonna go to like if I go to like dinner at the parents' house or whatever, and some random food. I'm just gonna pick a random piece of food that was served at whatever this dinner is, and it's like, oh, what the hell is this? Oh, it's I don't know. Give me another really common food.
Like broccoli could be mini trees.
It's a broccoli. What the hell is a broccoli? Why are there trees on my plate?
Right, literally. Oh my god, that'd be great.
Where are the tiny elves that lived in these trees?
Oh my god, no.
Oh my god.
No.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, that would be pretty freaking funny though.
But see, at that point they'd know it was a joke because
Yeah.
I would burst out laughing at my own fucking stupid ass jokes.
Literally. I feel that.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
So I pressed back on that post, and then it just took me to the "Today I fucked up" thread. It's the first thing on the list is "Today I fucked up by giving a blowjob."
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe save that one for later.
Maybe we'll do "Today I
I'm
fucked
intrigued.
up" next week.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm gonna bookmark this in my podcast folder so that I don't miss it. Okay,
Perfect.
cool. Well, I'm so glad we just talked about poop knives today.
Oh my god, that's so freaking funny.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of clever title for this episode that involves poop knives.
Fecal cleaver.
Right? What the hell's a fecal cleaver?
Right? Be like, do you have a fecal cleaver?
Maybe I'll name the episode knife ? Cleaver ?
Right.
What was the other one?
Glaive.
Divider ? Glaive ? That's going to be the name of this episode.
I love that.
Anyways, we will see you guys next week for more. I hope we find something as good as poop knife because I don't know how we're going to top that.
We're never going to top poop knife.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
If you guys have a poop knife, please tell us in the comments.
Yes, let us know.
What it is that you call your poop knife.
Yes. We want to know.
Jeez. I mean, do we?
I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued, actually.
We don't.
Yeah, it's like the thing you want to know, but you're also like, it's a little questionable too.
If you do, we want to know why you need it.
Yes. Giant turds, Link.
I know, but like, why do you have such giant turds that you need a poop knife?
Too much cheese?
What?
I don't know. I said too much cheese.
Well, why would too much cheese cause that?
Because cheese kind of makes you constipated a lot. And if
Not
you then don't get
necessarily.
enough fiber.
Not if you're lactose intolerant, it doesn't.
I mean, facts. But like, I was always told that cheese can cause constipation. So like, what it like, and OP even said
How
like
much
it's been a
bran are
couple
you eating?
days, right?
Right.
Like it's been a couple days since they pooped, which like
they're on just like an all fiber diet. That's crazy.
Well, fiber helps to get your poo going.
Or whatever whatever. I don't know. They're on something.
Something keeping them
Anyways,
locked up.
This conversation has officially become gross, so we will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys. See you next week.